I have learned a ton selling on Etsy for the last decade. What to do, certainly what not to do, and success on the platform has very little to do with luck. And after coaching hundreds of other Etsy sellers to grow and improve their shops, I've also learned that there are common themes with every seller that makes it to the top 1%, that sells more than the other 99%. And today I want to give you the list of these themes so that you can use it to better your shop, get closer to your goals, and hopefully get to the top 1% as well. And if you don't know who I am, I'm LL. I help Etsy sellers start, build, and grow their businesses with tools and strategies I've used to reach over $500,000 on Etsy with one shop. Let's dive in. All right, number one on this list is mindset, and I have this at number one for a reason. The rest of this list is not chronological. You don't have to follow it in any order, but this is number one because this is the limiting factor that causes a lot of people to give up and stop and quit before they ever reach that level of success, before they ever get to the goals that they want to reach and set for themselves. So the biggest thing, the biggest mindset hurdle is the fact that this is going to be a journey. It is not going to be fast usually. So you have to be in this for a long haul. You have to, if you're just starting an Etsy business, you have to plan to be in it for a couple of years before you find any type of real meaningful success. Now you get out of it what you get put into it, so you can reach success faster if you put more time into it. But a lot of this is a learning process, and it's a journey that you have to follow and tweak as you go. And that's why this doesn't happen fast. I always say it's delayed gratification. So you got to put in a lot of work now to see the reward later down the road. And we often, as today, we're very spoiled and we want instant gratification. We want stuff, quick fixes. We want stuff now. And that's just not the reality of how business works usually. So if you have the right mindset and if you're ready to be in this and do work for the long haul, those are the type of sellers that will find success. And those are the type of sellers that will reach the top 1% when the other people that don't have that mindset kind of fall off the wagon as they go. So that's number one. Number two is passion. So you have to be passionate about your the niche that you're serving, your target audience, and what you're doing. If you're doing this thing just to make money and only money, and you don't care about what you're doing, that's not a real good reason to keep you going when times get tough, and times will certainly get tough. But at least if you love what you're doing, if you're making something, if you're creating something, or you're designing something, or even if you're a vintage seller and you like sourcing vintage stuff and selling vintage stuff, and that is your passion, then that's going to keep you going when the sales aren't rolling in right away. That's gonna help you stay the course. The people that fall off fast and quit fast are the people that are just trying to make a quick buck and just doing something that they heard. And they're like, oh, well, I can do this, open a shop, sip Mai Tais on the beach. That never happens. And they're going to lose interest really fast because they have no passion for what they're doing. So you've got to be at least passionate about what you're doing in the market that you're serving. Number three is treat this like a business. If you want to get real income, real money out of this thing, you have to treat it like a business. You have to act like it's a business. If you're not ever working on your Etsy business, working on your shop, it's never going to grow. It's never going to make you an income in return because you're not treating it like a business. You know what I mean? You're not going, think about when you're going to work and you're clocking in, you're clocking out, you're doing a lot of different tasks during the day to get that paycheck. It's the same way for your own business. You have to do something to get the return out of it. But the problem is, like I said, to circle back, is it does take a while. So you're doing a lot and getting very little at the beginning. But if you're treating it like a business now, and it'll be a good habit for you to treat it like a business in the future and build those habits now and not treat it like a ATM or just a money machine that you don't care about, then if you treat it like a business, it's going to turn into a real business, a real legitimate business. Number four is invest in tools to help you move faster, to help give you information to make better decisions. So definitely a keyword tool such as Alora. There's a link below if you want to try a free trial to that. There's also a built email CRM in there, but you can do niche research, keyword research, all the research that will give you information that you can then use to improve and put in your listings. You can also use Canva to help with edit pictures, design banner image, social media, any number of things. So those are my top two tools. There's lots of tools, and as you grow and expand, you're going to want to invest in more and more tools. But those will be enough, certainly, to get you started. But anything that's going to save you time is going to help you. Save you time and improve what you're doing. You're going to get those returns back tenfold. Number 5 is invest in education with time and money. So invest in learning, invest in getting better, improving. When you're learning, it's going to help spark ideas. It's going to help spark motivation to get better and improve. And along these same lines, if you want to invest in learning for free, I have the Etsy Games platform that I just rolled out not too long ago. You can get free entry to that to start learning from me. It's a great community to talk with other Etsy sellers. And if you want to get a link to that, just write games. If you're watching this on YouTube, write games in the comment and I'll send you a link to get in there. But yeah, invest in learning, improving, growing. Business is no different than going to school. It's just a lot of people, for whatever reason, don't invest in education with business, which makes no sense. It's going to definitely help you even more so. Number 6 is have a strategy and a why behind everything that you do in your business. If I ask you why you did this certain thing, and the answer is, I don't know, then that is a problem, because that means you could be wasting time, our valuable time that we don't get back, that is finite. We have very little time. I know I hear it all the time. Not to be redundant, but that's the biggest complaint is I don't have time to do this and that. So certainly we don't want to waste time doing things where we don't have a strategy or a why behind it. You should be like, I'm doing this for this reason, or I think that this is going to help with this. At least have a hypothesis that you think what you're doing is going to get you this result based on this information. So be strategic with what you're doing. It is really, really important. And kind of along the same lines, number 7 is don't waste time on what you can't control. So we don't want to waste time no matter what. And we certainly don't want to waste time on things you can't control. This is over analyzing every little thing, paying attention to competition that's doing really well, or so-and-so is doing really well, getting a lot of sales, or changes that you have no control over. Don't waste time. Don't waste energy on those things. Focus on the things that you can take action on and the things that you can control. I see so many people complaining and moaning in comments about Etsy's changes or the algorithm or this and that. And a lot of that we can't control. So it's doing us no good to waste energy on it. Find a solution on how we can make it, leverage it to work for us and for our business, and continue to improve and continue to take action on the things that we actually can control. It's so important. Number 8, have a consistent listing strategy. You need to be putting in the reps each and every week to have new listings up each and every week, because it's going to help you get better. It's going to help you learn. It's going to help you improve, and it's going to give you information in return to make future decisions. So you got to put in the reps. I see so many people open up shops and then they set them and forget them, and they wonder why they're not getting sales. You got to keep putting in the reps. You got to add new stuff. You got to be doing that research. You got to become more and more familiar with your target market and your niche. And the only way to do that is by putting in the reps. It's just like going to the gym. If you work out once a month, are you going to see results? Probably not. Now, if you work out 5 times a week, are you going to see results pretty soon? Yes, you're going to see results. It's the same thing with your business. You have to be working on your business consistently. And the easiest way to do that is have a consistent listing strategy. Number 9, you got to have a niche or niche. I always say it. Both ways are technically correct, so don't bash me in the comments. But you got to have a niche. You can't just be throwing stuff out there and don't know who you're serving, because the algorithm doesn't know who you're serving to send you traffic. Your customers don't know who you're serving. They're going to be confused. Your shop's going to look like a yard sale. You got to be serving a niche, and it helps give you a path to follow so that you have a direction, you have a dart. You have a place that you can go, because you know everything you do is for that target market, for that niche. So it will alleviate a lot of stress and a lot of frustration, because you will have a roadmap to follow if you stick to that. So that's really very, very important. Number 10, understand your niche and target audience. So you got to have a niche first, but then you have to continue to work to understand. And it may not be, even if it's something that you're passionate about, if you're your own niche, there's still things that you may not know, you may not understand. You have to continue to pay attention, interact with your target market, target audience, your niche, find out what they want, how they talk, what problems that you can solve. This is all going to be important, not only to improve what you're doing now, but to offer different things for them in the future and improve on things for the future. Very, very important. It's a constant evolution of learning and evolving. Number 11, take good pictures and video. This is one of the bigger reasons why people don't find success sooner. Dark pictures, no video, confusing pictures, pictures that are cropped wrong. Make sure you're investing in good lighting, good pictures. That would probably be outside of SEO. That would probably be the main area that I would focus on improving. Look at your competition. Look at the top sellers in your niche. How do their pictures look? You know what I mean? Get your pictures to look like their pictures. It's definitely, in terms of, it doesn't have to be the exact same as far as setup, but as far as quality, if yours don't look like them, what can you do to get them to look like them? And usually it's a lighting issue. Most phone cameras are very, very good, very advanced technology, that the phone and the tech behind it is usually not a problem. It's usually the staging and it's usually the lighting. And that's something you have to solve for and test and get better at, just like every other aspect of your business. Super important. Number 12, know your profit margin. There's profit margins all over the place, calculators all over the place. Take into account, Laura has a free one that will bring in Etsy's fees. You have to take into account the fees, how much it costs to produce your stuff. Know your profit margin, because most decisions that you make in your business are going to be tied to your profit margin. And if your profit margin is not high enough, then you have to make some changes in your business to source different materials, maybe pivot to something where you can have a higher profit margin. Because if you don't have high enough profit margin, any little change in terms of fees or materials increasing, the cost of materials increasing, is going to impact your profit margin, and you're not going to have room to run promotions, sales. It's going to be a lot more stressful, but you at least have to start with knowing your profit margin first to then be able to make future decisions to benefit your business. Number 13 is run promotions and marketing, right? It helps build urgency, create scarcity, run sales, create promo codes for favorites, adds to carts, thank yous, all those things, the basic marketing stuff you guys should be doing to help drive conversions, the number of people that are buying your stuff. So incorporate that sooner than later. Number 14, have amazing customer service. It should go without saying, but it's not so simple sometimes, because we all can remember bad customer service. So it's not as common anymore as it used to be. The expectations are a lot lower. Customer service will not only A, help people buy more from you, B, help them repeat buy from you, C, give you good reviews. So it's so vital to your business to get those good reviews, to have that social proof on your site. So amazing customer service really goes a long way. Be professional in talking to people, answering questions, be fast, all the things that you would want from someone else if you were needing help and going somewhere to buy something. You want that amazing customer service, so give it to your customer. Number 15, along the same lines, is good reviews. So amazing customer service will definitely help you get good reviews, but all the top shops, of course, have good reviews because they have amazing products, amazing customer service, and they go an extra mile to get those good reviews, and they ask for reviews. Don't assume people are going to leave reviews. Ask, check in on your customer, check in on the purchase, make sure they're happy, and then ask them to leave you a 5-star review. Very, very important, especially early on, because you don't have any reviews. You need reviews and you need more reviews. And only about 10% of people will leave reviews. But if you're more proactive about it, you can get that number up to 15, 20%, which is really, really good. But people don't automatically leave reviews. It's not as easy as you think to get good reviews, and it can be frustrating once you're getting sales and then you're not getting the reviews to kind of go along with it. Number 16, don't advertise without organic sales first. The people that are advertising are getting organic sales first. They know people are liking their stuff and wanting to buy it. Paying to increase traffic just for people not to buy or send traffic to a poor listing or a poor product is just going to waste money, frustrate you more, and then you're going to want to quit even faster. So you need to make sure what you're doing is working first, that you have something that people want organically without just throwing money at it and wasting money. Because chances are, if you're not getting organic sales and then you send more traffic to your listings, you're still not going to get sales, but now you're paying for it, right? So tweak it. That's how you know things are working, if you're getting organic sales first, and then you can advertise, which can be a really good strategical move for you. Number 17 is move fast and break stuff. You can't start learning until you start doing. And so many people are so afraid to start their shop or put up the next listing. They're afraid people won't buy. They're afraid that they're going to run into problems. They're afraid because they don't know what they're doing. Well, again, you won't start learning until you break stuff. Ask for forgiveness later. Get it out there so you can start learning. You're going to be glad that you did, and then you can pivot, clean up the mess later. Entrepreneurship, if I could say that word right, is all about problem solving. It's all about figuring stuff out. And if you know that you're not going to like that, then it's probably not for you. But a great way to figure it out is to start doing it. Number 18 is email marketing is still king. When you're ready for it, email marketing is a great way to get repeat buyers and to build your business. You can collect emails, have them sign up for a coupon discount, and then you create value. You nurture them later on with value, not always just asking them to buy. And then if you're doing that, people will continue to open your emails and they will come back and buy from you. But email converts at almost 6 times, depending on your niche, it could be 6-7 times more than social media. It just takes time to build your list up, but it still works. A lot of people build their businesses and get a lot of additional revenue from an email list. Number 19, I would suggest getting a P.O. box. Maybe not right away, but as you get more and more established, you're probably going to want a P.O. box so you can put that as your return address so people are not seeing your home address. I've never had an issue. I didn't always have a P.O. box, but it always makes you feel a little weird when you do have your home address on there and people are seeing that. So it just, from a business standpoint, it is a write-off. You can just get a P.O. box, put that as your return and your shipping address, and that way people won't have your home address. You just never know. People are a little cray-cray. Number 20, don't use mockups if you can help it. Now, I know this is easier said than done, especially with the folks that do POD and different things like that. If you have to use mockups, consider making your own or making them original in some way, because everyone has the same mockups. So it looks the same, and you can easily tell that you're not the one creating the stuff, which kind of makes people a little leery. So especially if it looks super generic. Again, it just doesn't look really good, and this goes back to having good pictures. If it's just a basic mock-up that doesn't look good, that looks fake, people aren't going to be really appealed. It's not going to appeal to them. They're not going to want to buy it, right? They want to see the real thing, or what at least looks pretty darn real. So try to take good pictures. Try to use or create your own mock-ups. It'll help you long term. Number 21, differentiate yourself from the competition. What do I mean? Do things that the competition isn't doing. How can you add value and serve your niche or your target market better than your competition? There's always little things, and it doesn't have to be a lot. This is low income hanging fruit, low revenue hanging fruit. So it shouldn't cost you a lot extra to do the things to add value. It could be as simple as your description, the terminology that you're using in your description. But you could do other things to add value depending on what your niche is. There's hundreds of things that you can do to separate yourself apart from the competition. So this is why it's so important to get to know your niche and your target market, because you'll learn what people want and how you can differentiate yourself through these strategies and through adding value into different things. So people will buy from you and buy from you quicker, and it'll help your conversion rate, and they'll buy from you over your competition if they're considering the two. People always compare and contrast. So how can you get them to pick you over your competition? Number 22, do, learn, do. I didn't just have a stroke. I know doesn't make sense as far as a sentence structure, but it's so important to do more of what's working and less of what isn't. So you do take action, then you learn from it. It can be either negatively or positively, and then you do again. So do, learn, do. That's the constant process that you're going to go through. The more you do, the more you learn, and then you do some more, and then you learn, and then you do some more, and then you learn, and then you will make slow strides towards your goals. Slow strides of improvement over time lead to huge swaths of improvement, and you'd be surprised if you follow that process, how fast you can start to improve. It's like the old adage of pushing a snowball or pushing a boulder up the mountain, not a snowball. Pushing a boulder up the mountain, it's tough, it's hard, but once you push it to the top and then you get the momentum going, it's going to go faster on the other side. It's going to start going faster and faster and faster. It just, most people never can push it to the top because they're not taking action and they're not learning, and so they're just stagnant. They're just staying still. So that is really, really important. Number 23, the 80-20 rule. This is alive and well. If you don't know what this is, basically it means 20% of the actions account for 80% of the outputs, or 20% of the inputs, 80% of the outputs. Not to confuse you. Basically what I'm talking about is about 20% of your listings will lead to 80% of your income. So this is why it's important to put out a decent amount of listings so you can have some winners in there. Doesn't mean that you take down the 80% of listings that aren't doing well, because those listings are helping the algorithm define your target audience. It's helping it bring in more traffic that are then bouncing to those other listings. But you just have to know that 20% of your listings are going to be are going to account for 80% of your revenue. And this is why it's, if you have 10 listings, that means 2 listings are going to account for most of your revenue, which isn't going to be a lot if you only have 2 listings doing it. So you have to grow your business, and then if you're doing it the right way, those 20% could be a lot of listings, and they could be a really, really strong 20%, like super strong. It's all relative, but you want to consider it so that you can and use it as motivation to know this is why you want to build out your business, and this is why you want to be strategic in how you're doing it. And this is, once you see things happen, it'll help align your vision and it'll help things make sense. Number 24, ship fast. People like fast shipping. Do not delay your shipping. And this varies, right? If you have stuff where it does take you, if you make it to order and it takes time and it's custom, that's fine. People will know that's something that you want to put into your processing times. But if you have stuff that you can pop out really, really fast, within a day or two, and then you're delaying it, you're not shipping it on time, your processing times aren't right, that's the easiest way to get bad reviews. So ship stuff out as fast as possible, preferably sooner than even your processing times say. They'll be blown away by the service. They love it. The number one comment I get on my reviews is fast shipping. I got this item super fast and I love it. I get that all the time. So you can imagine the flip side of that, how important it is to them if they are not getting it fast, especially if it's a gift or something like that. Again, it's the easiest way to get a bad review. All right, coming to the end here. Number 25, use the Etsy app for notifications. You want to make sure you have notifications set up for people who leave reviews. So if it's a bad review, you can make sure to try and fix it so they can update the review. If it's a good review, then you can respond to the review and just thank them and show your appreciation, show that you're engaged. You can also have push notifications set up for people that send you a question, a conversation, so you can answer it super lightning fast. Again, goes back to amazing customer service. And most people, if you answer their question super fast, they're going to buy from you. So that's really important. You can also set up push notifications for the fun stuff, the cha-chings, the sales, if you want to see that. Hopefully it gets to the point where it's annoying because you're getting a lot of sales and you have to turn it off. That's a good problem to have, right? But definitely set up those 2 things, 3 things if you want the cha-chings as well. And it's going to just help your business out a ton and help you stay engaged. Finally, number 26 is positivity. The top sellers, the top 1% of people are positive people. They're glass half full type of people, and you really have to be to run a successful business. You can't be a naysayer. You can't be a complainer. You don't see successful sellers sitting back and complaining on forums or complaining online or, bitching and moaning about Etsy all the time. They're out doing the things to grow and improve their business. They're taking action. They don't have time to complain. They are spending their time growing their business, being engaged in their business, being motivated, investing in themselves. So that is how you have to look at it. Sure, there are plenty of reasons to be negative or get down or get frustrated, but that should be short-lived and you should not put any more energy into it than you absolutely have to. Again, take a step back, focus on what you can control. Glass half full, try to remain positive because it will help you long term. There's not too many successful negative people out there. I'm sure there are, but I would venture to guess there are way more positive action takers out there that are successful than the other flip side of the coin. But that's it. That's all I got for you. I probably missed a couple in there, but those are the 26 things that I've noticed that I do and the other top sellers do that have been successful, that have found success, and that get more sales than the other 99% of people, so that you guys can follow that path, start doing this stuff in your business, so you can get to the point of being better than 99% of other people, making more sales, being less frustrated, being more happy, and get closer to your goals. Hopefully that helps you guys out.